Well, let's see.
Here now, video from our sister station in Knoxville, WATE. They just got to the scene at Pleasantville Elementary School moments ago. We are hearing there will be no school in Cumberland County on Friday, and the Cumberland County Schools Director says all the students at Pleasantville Elementary were on their school buses outside the building when the storm hit. The buses hadn't left yet. An alert school resource officer got those children off the buses back into the school building, and the school superintendent in Cumberland County says none of the students were injured. We also have video of a phone cloud spotted in and around the Crossville area. You can see the thin twister coming down from the sky. There you see the screen. So far, there have been no reports.
Okay, yeah, I think this is open. Let's see if Amalia comes. I better turn the TV.
Tonight out of Wilson County, pack up and get out quick. That's what Mount Juliet business owners in the Valley Center Plaza were told this week after devastating flooding. Now the entire plaza will shut down.
Hello there, Mary. How are you doing?
Doing good, Carolyn. How about you?
Well, I'm doing pretty well, all things considered. I've been to the dentist this week and spent a whole day having some teeth remodeled, and I'm now waiting on my crowns and my bridge that he's having to make. So it'll be about a month before I'm finished with this episode.
Well, that's a step in the right direction. It sounds like there is usually a waiting time there.
Yeah.
How's Lydia's classwork going?
Going very well. Since we've had the time change, there's Amalia.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Amalia's in her vehicle.
Yes. Hi, Miss Caroline. Hi, Miss Mary.
Hi. How are you, Amalia?
I'm better now. So I having trouble with my car. So I just come home. So I'm sorry. I don't have my book with me. For maybe in 10 minutes I'm home. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, that's right. You're going to be home in about 10 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that'll be fine. I'll wait for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
No, my pleasure. I'm sorry, Miss Caroline. But I'm
fine.
trying to the Nashville, and I don't know, my car is something happened, and my husband just fixed it. So I go home now.
Okay.
Be careful.
Uh-huh. So me vuelvo a conectar mejor. Pues sí. Sí.
And nobody seemed to be with your power.
Miss Mary, we were getting interrupted. Amalia had not turned off her phone completely. What was it you were saying?
That night we had a terrible storm. I tried to get on for the meeting and nobody else was on. I wondered if your power was on.
For some reason, you're not coming through clearly. It sounds like you're talking way off at a distance. Let me let my doggy out and I'll be right back.
Okay, it might be my connection.
There, you're sounding better now.
Oh, okay. I moved it a little bit.
You were talking about the night that we had bad storms.
Uh-huh.
I had left a message on WhatsApp that because of the storms that we would not try to have class because first of all, I felt like it would probably affect our being able to talk back and forth. The connections probably would not be good.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is we did not know how big of an emergency it would be in different areas.
Right.
And so they'd sent the children home early. In fact, Lydia and I had been in Goodlettsville and we saw the buses already taking the children home at noon. So I knew that, you know, a lot of times organizations and things say, if the children go home from school early, then we don't have class or whatever.
That's true.
So I just went online and put on WhatsApp that we would not try to have class that night because people may be dealing with emergencies in their homes or whatever. And I just felt like our connection may not be good because of the stormy weather that was bouncing around. Now, we did have here rain and wind and all those kinds of things, but we just didn't try to use any of our devices because sometimes lightning and things will come through on the electric lines. So we just, I just felt like it was better to take that evening off. And I've spoken with Judy, and she said that we're not going to continue past the last Thursday this month will be the last class.
Right. Okay. I think that was how they had it scheduled originally. Looked in that notebook and I think it was going to go through April.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was at my daughter's last week in Birmingham, and we were down there, and we did come back for Easter at our church. But we kind of did that at the last minute. We thought we were coming back Sunday, but Tom said, well, let's just go on, and even if we're late getting home Saturday night so we can go to our church. That's the first time I've been back since probably November or December.
Oh,
But
well,
we're
did you go to the early morning service or the later one?
Went to the early.
We went to the one at 10:45. They tell me that early service was packed.
It really was. We had to sit upstairs. There weren't two seats together downstairs, and we got there right at 9 o'clock. I mean, a lot of people came in after we did.
Yeah.
I was surprised what a good crowd they had. I bet there were probably, I want to say 200 or more people there.
I think they said 300, counting the choir and you know, everybody. And then there was about 150 or 175 at the later service. So they figured between about 450, maybe 500 that had come to the service. They may come out with some more concrete numbers. I went Wednesday night to the Revelation class.
Who's teaching that, Carolyn?
Jeff Lester.
Uh-huh.
And so I heard some of them talking about trying to put the numbers together as to how many people, you know, had been there. And for the worship services, everybody was pretty excited about how many people did turn out between the two services.
I was surprised how few people in the early service had masks on. Of course, they told you coming in, oh, masks are optional. But I thought more people would have had the masks on. We kept ours on. But,
well, they wore them in, but then almost everybody took them off after they got in and got seated.
Yeah. You know.
But we were on a front row, so we certainly took ours off because we weren't blowing our breath on anybody.
Right. I don't know if you know, he's in the choir pretty often, Noah Kettler. Um, he was Jesus in the Christmas, not Christmas, in the Easter pageant that we had. I guess now it's 2 years ago. But anyway, he had a plane crash Monday,
Oh
and
my.
he was the instructor, and he and the young fellow with him both survived, but they were pretty broken up. But I thought, my goodness, I just saw him and his family there Sunday, and then he had the crash.
Mm.
It was on Smoky Barn, but um, he's putting his applications in to fly commercially everywhere. So I wonder if that
Mm-hmm.
makes him rethink it. I don't know. He's a mighty lucky boy, though.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed it. I thought it was a good service.
Yes, it was an excellent service. Very good. We still have some new members business to take care of at the new members class. But I think by the time you all are back at church, I got a letter card from Teresa,
Hmm.
and she said that you all were going to try and have class back in the building April the 18th, I think. Is it April the 8th? Yeah, April the 18th, I think it said. So, well, you've gone away from me again.
Oh, have I? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Our classroom is at the end of the hall, straight down the hall from the where you go in the sanctuary, towards town. Just keep walking on that hallway, and there it is.
Well, I'll probably be able to get directions from someone down at the door on how to get there. I'm sure they can help me locate it. Did you say that was on second floor or third
Oh no,
floor?
it's on the same floor with the sanctuary,
Oh, okay.
and you just walk to the end of the hall from the sanctuary, and you run into it.
Okay.
But we usually go to early church, Carolyn, and so if I see you there, I'll give you a heads up.
Okay. Um, on our ELL classes, since the time change and since the weather has improved,
Mm-hmm.
Marty has not been back
Oh, I bet that.
because
Yeah,
he has more daylight and because they've missed so much work because of the bad weather we had with all the rain, the flood,
I
the
bet.
ice storms and everything.
Yeah,
Um, he has been working late, I'm sure, is the reason that I have not heard or seen him since the time change. And there's more daylight now later,
yeah, yeah.
so
True.
I've not heard from him. Um,
Had.
I don't know if I had told you about the Mary Ann had gotten in touch with me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the one with the small baby,
Well, the last
the
time,
Mary Ann that has the small baby.
yeah, she
And
was
she
the only
said
one
that
on. Yeah.
she was having difficulty managing the children
Mm-hmm.
during class time, even though the husband was in the house. Apparently, he doesn't have anything to do with the children.
Mm.
So she wanted us to move the class to a morning class or 4 o'clock in the afternoon or something else. And I told her that we would not be able to do that because the other people who've been coming regular work and they cannot meet any sooner than 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told her that what I had heard about next year, that we're going to be back in the classroom. We will not be on Zoom, as far as I know, and that it will be at Springfield Baptist Church. So I told her, that if she wanted to try, but I did tell her that I'd also heard that we may not have any childcare
Oh, really?
if she comes to the church. and there would be no snacks or anything. That's what I've heard about what ELL is going to look like next year. Is yes, we'll be back in the building, but there's not going to be any childcare available, and there won't be any food or snacks, or there won't be anything to eat or drink unless they bring their own.
Not having childcare may make a difference.
I think it will.
There were a lot of women I saw during the day when I was up there that brought their children to the daycare.
So I don't know, but because of COVID, they're assuming we're still going to have some concerns about COVID even in the fall. And it looks like it is going to be more concerning about the younger ones. I've heard on TV tonight that with these variants, the younger ones, the children, they're saying the children, the middle school age and up, getting out, playing sports, getting involved with other people from the schools and stuff there. And they're seeing more of that inflammation thing that they had seen in the children who had gotten the other COVID before the variants came out. So
yeah, it's still scary.
Yeah, it's still apparently going to be, you know, a problem, not maybe as bad as it was a year ago, but certainly it's going to be concerning. And especially since most of the teachers for ELL are older citizens.
Have you been able to get both of your vaccines?
I got both of mine. Mother got both of hers.
Oh, good.
And we're waiting for them to announce that they're giving shots in our county to 16 and above.
Okay.
There's been some talk of it nationwide, but not just statewide. You know, I haven't heard it yet. I think they're thinking along about the 18th or 19th of the month, maybe, to open it a little ahead of the president's prediction of May 1. So I think Lydia will probably get hers.
Well, that will give you some comfort.
Yes, yes. But I've had some problems with my lawnmower. I'd struggled with it last year to get it to start. So I went to TSC to see if I could make arrangements to get a lawnmower. And I haven't been able to get one yet, and I'm soon going to have to use an old-fashioned sickle to cut it if I don't get a lawnmower pretty soon.
It is growing fast right now, especially with the rain we've had.
Yeah, and the sunshine that we've had.
Right. I thought it was supposed to rain and storm today, but we didn't get it.
It went east of us.
Oh, good.
They've had some terrible storms over there. Cumberland County's had a tornado, and it went into Fentress and was headed for Scott. So this afternoon they've had tornadoes and hail, and over that direction, over toward Jamestown.
Oh, well, that is east of us then.
Yes.
I think they've got bad weather forecasts for south of us in Alabama. My sister lives down there, and my daughter does too, and I was a little bit concerned about it, but I think it's going to be mainly rain.
Well, if you have some other things to do, I'll wait on Amalia. I think what I am going to do with her, she's always said that she wanted more vocabulary.
She's pretty good.
And so I think I'm going to try in the next 2 or 3 weeks to cover. Oh, there she is.
I'm here. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead and get yourself set up there. But Miss Mary, if you feel that you need to go and do something else, feel free to do so. I'm going to fast track Amalia on some vocabulary, I think,
Okay. Well,
and let her work on some practice exercises, and we might talk about them next week. So I think Amalia is the only one I'm going to have tonight.
well, my
If you want
husband's
to put that on, if you want to put that on the WhatsApp for me.
okay. The attendance, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Amalia, I'm glad you got home.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
My husband's cutting a tree down, Carolyn, so I'll go out there and make sure I don't have to call the emergency room.
Oh.
Well, you watch him carefully, because my husband, he was out doing something on a shed, and I told him to wait till I got there, and he started before I got there, and Lydia came running in saying, Mama, Daddy has fallen off of the shed, and the rest is history, because that's when we found out he had cancer, because I wouldn't let him come in the house till we went to the emergency room.
Oh my, well, I guess maybe that was a mixed blessing then.
Yes.
Mhm.
So yes, you need to check on Mr. Tom.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you later then, Carolyn.
Okie doke.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I know it's been a frantic evening. Do you need to take a couple of breaths just to kind of calm yourself down now and to get to some English?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Take a look at our devotional for this evening, and I'm sure that there are some words in here. Some of them will be names that maybe you cannot pronounce, and I will help you with them. But let's see if you can read the devotion tonight.
Okay. If it was Friday and the Sabbath was about to begin, begin. So Joseph from Arimathea went to Pilate to ask for Jesus' body. He and Nicodemus.
That's very good.
Carefully took him down from the cross, prepared the body quickly with spice, wrapped him in burial clothes, and buried Jesus and Joseph's family tomb which had never been used. Okay. John 19:38-39.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Sabbath. Do you know what Sabbath means?
Sabbath means no, I know what I'm talking about. I know.
Sabbath is Jewish. They celebrate the worship of God from 6 o'clock Friday night until 6 o'clock Saturday night, because they are on a lunar calendar. It's by the moon. And so for them, Sabbath is 6 o'clock Friday evening till 6 o'clock Saturday evening. That would be like their Sunday. We worship on Sunday because that was the day Jesus was resurrected. They worship God on the Sabbath. Okay. Joseph was from a place called Arimathea. And that was just the name of that place. Pilate is not Pilate, even though there's an E on the end. It is because his name was a different language. It's not an English word. And so it doesn't necessarily follow the rules of English, where with an E on the end, the A would have been long, where it would have been Pilate. It's not, it's Pilate.
Pilot. Pilot.
Okay. Nicodemus was also the name of a man. And buried. We pronounce it actually like it's not like it's spelled. We pronounce it like that U is an A. Buried. But that's the way we pronounce the word, even though it's B-U-R-I-E-D. We pronounce it as though it's an A. Buried.
Buried.
Instead of buried, it's buried.
Buried.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the pronunciation things in this. Do you have any questions about the burial of Jesus?
No.
Okay, you understand that pretty well. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to stop that share. Okay, now I have given some thought. You have said from the very beginning that what you wanted more than anything was more vocabulary.
Okay.
And so what we're going to try to do, since Marty is not joining us, we're going to try to cover as much vocabulary and grammar. We're not going to spend as much time doing exercises. What I'm going to ask you to do is do the exercises yourself. We've been doing exercises through the book up to now. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with that, you let me know. We'll try it this week. If it doesn't work, if you're not able to do the exercises, we'll go back and work through the exercises.
Okay.
But I want us to get as much vocabulary as we can cover, but I want you to be able to use that vocabulary in your exercises. Do you understand what I'm giving you an overview what I want to try to do with you. Okay. We will be working until April the 29th is the last Thursday of the month. That will be the last class for ELL. Okay. Now, do you know of any dates in between tonight and the 29th that you won't be able to make it?
Okay.
Do you know of any times you can't make it this month for ELL? Will you be able to make each of those classes, Amalia? Okay, good. Now, in our regular lesson book, I want us to go to page, let me get my glasses on. I slipped them off a while ago. Page 182.
182. Okay.
Okay, and up at the top of the page, I'm going to start over here on the far side and talk about the grammar watch. This is grammar that we're going to be looking at. And first of all, understand that these words that are in the white, these are words that are used to make an adjective stronger. In other words, the word very, really, or pretty really make it stronger. It makes it, look, it wasn't just windy, it was very windy. It was blowing all the trash cans away. So if you use very or really or pretty, if it's hot, it's not just a little bit hot. It is very hot. That means you could probably fry an egg out on the sidewalk. Okay, so that's what this lesson on very, really, and pretty is about. So if you will read the purple box, it's purple on the top and it's yellow on the bottom. If you would read those really short sentences using those words. Where it says, it's very hot. It's really cold.
Oh, it's pretty windy. He's very happy. Really hungry.
He's really hungry.
He's yes. He very tired.
Yeah, he's pretty tired. Meaning, if he was just tired, he might come in and sit down in the chair. But if he's pretty tired, he's probably going to lay down on the bed.
Oh, okay.
So it's another degree. It's stronger. It's more. That word, instead of pretty, it doesn't mean, oh, how pretty I am. It means he's not just a little tired. He's very tired. He's going to go lay down. Okay. So let's try these sentences with with one of those words. There are 4 of them in this part A. In part A, right here where my fingers are. So let's try to make those sentences. Write sentences with the words in the parentheses. Use capital letters and periods. Then match the sentences with the pictures. So in number 1, it already gave it to you. It's really cold. And see the little blue words underneath that they used? They unscrambled it and made it, it's really cold. And they matched it up with picture D.
Okay.
Can you do number 2?
Yes. It's pretty hot out there.
Yes.
And it's and then there's a letter B.
Yes.
Okay, and it's very windy.
Yes.
And it's the letter A.
Yes.
Okay, and the last one is it's really foggy.
Yes.
And it's letter C.
Yes, very good. Okay, let's turn over. I'm not going to go back over some of the things that we have already talked about. I am going to go over here to problem solving. So on page 184, down at the bottom, I'm going to read this paragraph about Danielle's problem. And then we're going to talk about what can she do to solve her problem. Danielle is at home one morning with her mother and her baby. Her husband is out of the country. He is visiting his sick father. There is a big storm and there is no electricity. The power is out in the whole neighborhood. Danielle is very worried. There are no candles at home, and there are no batteries for the flashlight. She doesn't have any canned food.
Okay.
So, first of all, here where we live, we don't usually go without electricity very long at a time. As long as you keep your refrigerator door shut for a few hours, whatever's in the refrigerator is going to be fine.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if she has no electricity and the store she's going to is in the same neighborhood, then they're probably going to be without electricity also. And if they have no electricity, they cannot take your money for food. So she must have been thinking that the storm was going to last longer than just a few hours, that maybe the storm would go on for 2 or 3 days like our ice storm. So if she needed help, who could she call on to either go and pick up supplies? Can she go and get supplies? Or should she just wait for the power to come back on? This is kind of the decision she needs to make. So what are you thinking?
Maybe she can call and asking for another neighbors. So maybe she have battery for the phone, and maybe she can go asking just in case somebody can have something extra.
Right. She could ask a neighbor if they have extra
cans or extra water or something she can, or candles.
Are you friends enough with anybody that you go to church with that you could call somebody at your church and ask for help? If you were in a storm, do you know of somebody from your church that might bring you some supplies? Yes. Batteries or candles or something? That would be a good resource, I would think, is to get in touch with somebody at your church. Now, I just mentioned that if the store she was going to was in her neighborhood and they had no electricity, they would probably not sell her something because they couldn't ring it up. But if the store is further away, where that it's not right in her neighborhood, it's a larger store, her mother's there to stay with the baby. She could go out, but she needs to remember that if she's without electricity, the whole neighborhood's without electricity, traffic lights are not going to be working. And it's going to be very difficult. She could end up in an accident. So she has to ask herself, how serious is it that she get these supplies? If she thinks she's going to be stuck without food for several days, yes, it's probably better to go now than later. Because by the time she gets to the store, the shelves will be empty. Especially if they need water. So those are some things you need to think about when the electricity goes off. Is it just a little storm that's passing over one evening and you'll be without electric for a couple of hours and then everything will come back on? Or is it something you may be without electricity for several days? And that makes a difference as to what kind of a plan you need to make. Do you keep a special emergency food, like canned food, or keep extra water in the house for emergencies, or try to keep on hand stuff to make sandwiches with, something you don't have to cook? I have an electric stove,
Mhm.
Have an electric stove or gas?
Gas.
So for most storms, you would be able to cook then.
Yeah, I have a gas.
Any questions that you have about the problem solving, the emergency?
No.
Okay, let's look at our new lesson, lesson 10.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's look at the pictures. I'm probably not going to ask you to do about all of these things. I'm mainly going to be trying to get you to learn more vocabulary.
Uh-huh.
So let's look at the pictures, see if we can come up with what each of these places is. Number one, what do you think number one is?
It's a fire station.
Very good. Number two,
The police station.
yes. Number three,
The post office.
yes. Number four,
It's the bus stop.
yes. Number five,
Park.
okay. Number six,
Pharmacy.
yes, or drugstore.
Mhm.
Number seven,
Gas station.
good. Some people call it a service station.
Service station.
It's a gas station, but it's a service station also. Number eight,
Supermarket.
yes. And number nine,
A bank.
yes, a bank. Number 10,
And ATM.
yes, very good. Number 11,
It looks like a laundry.
yes, laundromat.
Laundromat.
Sometimes when people say just laundry, I think of a place where you take clothes that in the labels it says you take to dry cleaning. You know, you can't wash it, you have to take it for dry
Okay.
cleaning.
Mhm.
So laundry sometimes to me means someplace you have to take your clothes when you can't wash them in your washing machine.
Mhm.
So a laundromat is where they have washing machines and dryers and other people can pay to use them. Okay, number 12.
It's a parking lot.
Yes, a parking lot. 13.
Department store.
Yes, department store or a clothing store. It looks
Mhm.
to me like what they've shown you there is perhaps a Walmart,
Mhm.
but they've shown you a picture of mostly clothing or household goods like sheets and towels and things like that. But a department store is going to have like Walmart, where they have a hardware store inside the Walmart. They have sporting goods, like where you get fishing rods and guns and all that sort of thing. And then they have a garden center and they have a pharmacy inside. You know, they have lots of different departments that you can shop. Number 14.
It's a coffee shop.
Yes, it's a coffee shop. It also kind of looks like what some of the service stations look like inside, because the service stations very often have coffee and sodas and drinks and things, maybe
Mhm.
some sandwiches even. What's 15?
A hair salon?
Hair salon. I call it a beauty shop.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
There are different terminologies that you can use for a beauty salon. We used to call it a beauty shop. That's where you went to get your hair done. They didn't have, in the old days when I first was learning about going to, it was mostly getting your hair cut or getting it curled or something, but they didn't have like all the nail salons.
Mhm.
They didn't have the, like where they would wax your face, wax to get the extra hair and stuff.
Mhm.
Now, these hair salons do a lot more. It started when the tanning beds came out. They started putting tanning beds and things in a hair salon or a beauty shop. And then they just started adding more and more stuff
Mhm.
to hair salons. Okay. Let's look at the difference down here in B. Oh, first of all, what do you do there? Okay, let's look at 1, 2, see what 3 was. No, not a post office. Okay, 1 and 2. What do you do at a fire station?
Mm, I don't know. No, I never.
You've
I
never
don't
been
know.
to a fire station?
No, I saw outside when I too close in my house is one, so I saw and everything, but I never. Yeah.
Well, we contact them by phone in order to get someone to come out if a fire has gotten started in our house.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
There is another time that people would actually go to a fire station. Now, they take children from elementary schools very often to visit the fire station so that they can see what a fireman looks like in all of his gear and everything. Because it would be very frightening to a child if they have a fire at their house and this man comes with all of this heavy, dark clothing and a mask and oxygen and everything. But there's another reason for fire stations. We passed a law, and I'm trying to think, it was in probably the 70s or 80s. I can't remember which. I know I was working in child protection. If someone does not want their baby or their child, but they don't want to be prosecuted for mistreatment of the child, they can take it to a police station, a fire station, or a hospital. They can leave the baby there and they will not be prosecuted for mistreating their child.
Oh, okay.
They will take the child and the child will be processed to be freed for adoption, to be given to someone else.
Oh, okay.
So if a young lady is pregnant, she does not want her family to know it. She cannot take care of the child. She's still in school. If she has the baby and takes it to the fire station, police station, or a hospital,
Oh,
can leave the infant there and she will not be prosecuted. It's a safe place. It's a
okay.
place where people will take care of her child.
Wow, I don't know that.
Well, it's a law that was passed because we had too many people throwing brand new babies in trash cans and things like that because they didn't want them. They couldn't take care of them. When the drug culture got bad, the mothers who were doing drugs and things, they knew they couldn't take care of the child, but they didn't want anybody to prosecute. They didn't want them to come after them for mistreating the child. So they passed a law that you could take the baby to the fire station, police station, hospital. So many churches now, there's not someone there at the church all the time. There's always somebody at a fire station. There's always somebody at a police station. There's always somebody at a hospital. So those were considered safe havens, a place where the baby would be safe, would be taken and taken care of, and the child could be placed with a family who wanted to adopt.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so those are some things that you could do at those places. What about the police station? What would you go to the police station to do?
I never go, for maybe you can make the reports or something like that, or yes, you can go.
Or if you have an accident,
Oh, okay.
you have to fill out an accident report. If you get a parking ticket, I don't know if you pay it at the police station or if you go to the courthouse to pay it. I think if it's in the city, you'd go to the police station. At least they could tell you where to go to get to pay it. If you get stopped for speeding and it's not inside the city limits, if it's out in the county, then I know you do have to go to the courthouse or where you pay your taxes for your license plates and all that kind of stuff. It's not in that office, but it's in that building.
Okay.
So it's where the sheriff's office is, I think, is where you have to go to pay tickets for speeding and things like that. In some counties, it's in a courthouse, and sometimes it's in the building where the sheriff's office is. And sometimes they have a small courtroom at the police station for some traffic court things. Like if your license plate is expired, you didn't pay your taxes and get the little sticker to go on your license plate, and the policeman stops you and gives you a ticket. It might be the police station and it might be the courthouse, but one of those two places you'd have to go to take care of that. Okay, let's look at number 3, the post office. What would you do at the post office? I need to let my little dog in. You think about that and I'll be right back.
Okay. Ya solamente mete la pechuga del pollo al refrigerador.
Okay, the post office.
So I go to send the packets, or sometimes letters, or sometimes for certificate papers for sent to another, like for another place. So yeah, basic. Oh, you can have your passport too over there.
Yes.
Make a passport. And yeah, it's only before I do, so make it the asking for what I need for the passport for my daughters, and send the packets for Texas and documents. certificate of.
Did you say buying stamps?
Yeah.
Getting the stamps to put on the envelopes. Sometimes you can get a bigger envelope. You know, the packaging you need to mail things. Sometimes they run out, like at the dollar store or something. And sometimes you can get regular envelopes for mailing your bills with a stamp already on it, with security envelopes, that sort of thing. Okay, number 4 is the bus stop. What do you do at the bus stop?
I remember when I just come living here in Davidson. So I wait for the bus for go to working. And
Right.
and it's I think it's 19 years ago. So it's not have too many. Maybe only 2 times in the day.
Right.
And you need to, like, I need to come early in the morning and take the bus, and I'm working more late for it's only the way I have. So I need to take it.
And you'd have to get, sometimes you have to get special passes, like you pay ahead, because having the correct change on you all the time is pretty difficult. Okay, what about the park? You go
The park, I go to walking when it's summer. So for this time, I not can do that because I have a test for my job. It's for food safe. So I need to take the test, and it's 80 questions. So I'm starting to study the book, and I don't have time for walking. For when I finish maybe I made my test in May, like May 20 or May 25. So, and after that, I can start walking. Oh, my daughters play soccer too in the park.
Well, we like to go for picnics sometimes in the park.
Yes.
We like to
Yes.
maybe pick up a pizza or get a sandwich or something and go to the park and eat
Yeah.
outside.
That's why I'm not gonna let you use it because you act like a child.
Yeah.
Some people who live in apartments and things do not have any place to go for their children to ride their bikes or learn to ride the bike.
Oh, yeah.
Skateboarding. There's some places in parks for skateboarding.
I'm learning driving too in the park.
Learning driving at the park or in the parking lots.
Oh, parking lot. Yeah, I remember.
Okay, in the pharmacy, there's a lot of things you can get at the pharmacy.
Yeah. Medicine. Sometimes like bandage, like water, vitamins. So a lot of stuff.
Right. And sometimes things for celebrating special holidays, like, you know, greeting cards that you can send, stationery.
Food.
Yes, they have snacks and things. Also, for some reason, photography, getting your pictures made, it has come to be that pharmacies also have machines to process your film that you take with a camera. Walmart has it. Walgreens has it. I don't know if Target does or not. Do they process film? But anyway, the pharmacy has come to be the place you can even take pictures in and have copies of your pictures made.
No, I don't think Target has. I think Walmart and I probably use Walmart and Walgreens.
Yeah.
And CVS maybe.
CVS maybe. Okay, at the gas station. What are you looking for at the gas station?
So I have two close in my house, one gas station. You can buy pizza, you can buy hot dogs, you can put the gas, you can coffee, drinks, snacks. Let me think in batteries.
For your vehicle, if you're starting to get a flat tire, they usually have an air machine there where you can put air in your tires. Where you put air in your tires, but you need to check your oil from time to time. And they also will have oil to go in your vehicle. It usually costs you more at the service station. If you know where the automotive store is, you usually can get it cheaper at the automotive store than at a service station. But if you're on a trip and you're not familiar with that town or that community, grocery store, supermarket.
Yes.
What do you get at the supermarket?
Vegetables, meat, milk. Let me think. Like, let me see.
You can get desserts already made up. Sometimes they have a deli in there, and you can get birthday cakes and pies.
Yes.
You get donuts and.
Yes, and sometimes some supermarkets has sushi and
Yes.
And food pre-making.
When you go to the bank, what are you trying to get done?
So you can make deposit, you can change the coins, you can open the account. So let me see.
What if you have to have something faxed? If you have a bank, a lot of times the bank will fax things for you. They also have what is called a notary, a person who can notarize documents that says, this is official. I saw this person sign this document, and I'm going to put my seal on here saying that this is an official document, and I have seen this person sign this paper. And sometimes you have to have papers notarized before you send them back. Official documents and things. They might charge you a little bit, but you can get things notarized. They have savings accounts that you put money in and save. You can get a CD, put money in a savings, and they hold it for a certain length of time. You can't get it out until that time limit's up. Sometimes they have other people who will educate you on other forms of savings or making money, like putting money in the stock market and those kinds of things. A bank can do a lot of things for you. You can get a mortgage, so you can buy a house through a bank. You can borrow money to get a car. What happens at an ATM?
An ATM, you can deposit checks, you can take out money, or you can check your balance.
Okay, it usually means the bank is closed and you have not planned ahead and you need to make a withdrawal. Is there usually a fee for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's usually a fee for that. Okay, at the laundromat, what do you do at the laundromat?
Sometimes the clothes that my husband is because he makes some mechanic jobs, so it's really greasy. So I know use my laundry in home. So I go the place right here to close in my house, and I wash the clothes over there.
They also have machines that are larger than our smaller ones at home. And if you have pretty good size rug that you have at your front your back door, you can take that rug and put it in the larger machine to get it cleaner. Also, some laundromats have people in them, and you can actually drop your laundry off at the laundromat. They will send it out, have it cleaned, and have it back at the laundromat for you to pick it up. Not all laundromats do that. Parking lot. Parking lot, a place to park your vehicle while you shop or while you are in church. A department store. When you need to get the children's school supplies and their school clothes, you can go to one place and get it all and not have to go from store to store to store. You get their lunch boxes, backpacks, everything at a department store. Coffee shop.
Yeah, so I like the coffee. So in some places can put the different flavors.
Yes.
Yes, or you can buy like tea, a special tea with I like the soya milk with tea.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Sometimes they have some pretty fancy snack cakes and things too that are a little more spendy. They're a little fancier. I never did like coffee, so a coffee shop was never really a. Okay, the beauty salon. We were already talked about that. The hair salon. How many different things they do. We've already sort of talked about that. So let's go to well, what was I going to? Okay, in part B, it says, list the words that have station in it. So what things have station in it? Well, the first one has station in it, doesn't it? Fire station. The police.
Police station.
And the service.
Station.
Yes, gas station. Now the words that have the word store in it.
Store.
Well,
like the
grocery store. Grocery store was it there.
store.
Also, we were just talking about the department store. Also, instead of pharmacy, if you said drugstore, then the word would be, you would have store in there. There was one that had shop? Can you think of which one it was that had the shop instead of
Shop
store?
or,
The one you like to go to with the different flavors to go in your,
oh, the coffee shop.
yes. Can
Mhm.
you think of another store that uses the word shop instead of store?
Mm,
Usually, if you go to buy flowers for a funeral,
uh-huh.
a special occasion like an anniversary or a wedding,
Mhm.
making plans for a wedding, and you have to buy a lot of flowers, people will go to a flower
Shop,
shop.
flower shop.
Flower shop. Can you think of something besides the three that we mentioned with the word station in it that you would go to?
Mm,
It's another form of transportation, and there are trucks that run on and make its own road.
the train station.
A train station. Now, another form of transportation. We have big yellow ones for the school kids, but
The bus station.
the bus station, the train station, the bus station. Can you think of something else that uses the word store?
Mm, um,
There's a place called Carnival that is not a place that has children's rides and stuff, but they have something that go on your feet.
oh, Carnival shoes store.
Okay. Shoe store,
True.
clothes store. Now, used to, people bought stationery and they like for weddings and things like that, they would have it printed with the names and stuff on it. And so they would go to a stationery store or a printer's shop to get wedding invitations or anniversary invitations and have them printed.
Mhm.
So those are some other things that use those words: shop, station, store. Okay, I am going to move along to the grammar. Okay, let's look at prepositions that have to do with place. Let's look on page 190.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. The supermarket is around the corner from the bank. So you go around the corner from the bank and you'll find the supermarket. This is in directions. Do you remember when we did directions before and we talked about prepositions that told us how to get to a place?
Yes.
Around the corner. Okay, the supermarket is down the block or down the street. We might also say up the street. The supermarket is between Hill and Oak Streets. Between, it tells you its location. If you know where Hill Street is and Oak Street, it's in between there.
Mhm.
On, the supermarket is on the corner of 10th Street and Pine Street. The supermarket is near the library. Now, that's just saying you might, if you're at the library, you may be able to see the supermarket from there.
Mhm.
It doesn't say exactly where from the library. So let's look at the prepositions again. It says use around, down, between, on, or near. So let's do those sentences right there quickly. Right underneath there, can you see that where it says the library?
The library is on the corner of Oak and Elm Street.
Good. There's a coffee shop on the corner of 9th and Elm. Now you do number 3.
Their bank. The bank. The bar. Is on the corner.
It's around the corner.
Around the corner. Yes. Sorry.
From the police station.
Around the corner.
Okay. It may be that it's looking at this picture down here at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay, so the police station is here. The bank is around the corner. The door to get into the bank would be around the corner from the police station. Okay, so there's a fire station down the street from the police station. So you see the police station is up on the top and you'd go down Park Street down to go to the fire station. Do you see where the fire station is? Okay, do number 5.
Their post office is near.
Near, yes, good.
Near the library.
N-E-A-R, near, it's right next door to it. The police station is on Park Street. Now, what goes in that next blank?
The police station is on the
It's on Park Street.
train, Park Street.
How is it in relation to 9th and 10th Street? Where is it from 9th and 10th Street?
Between?
Between, there you go. It is between 9th and 10th Street. Okay, we're not gonna do any more with that right now. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about the traffic signals on page 192.
Okay.
Look at the signs, match the signs to their meanings. Write the meaning under the sign. So number 1 there, they've already given you, haven't they? Stop.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so number 2 is what? Look in the gray, see they've got a gray circle around this box up here at the top, kind of a bluish gray.
Yes.
Now, if we mark out stop, then you've got two choices.
Uh-huh.
So
It's two-way traffic.
two-way traffic. And here in the United States, what side do we drive on?
On the right.
Yes, on the right. See, you have two choices here. It says two-way traffic, or you could say drive on the right. Now, who would need to know that? People from England, people from Europe,
because it's
France,
different, right?
because they drive on the
And then other side.
left. They drive on the left. So it can mean two-way traffic, and it can mean drive on the right. Okay, and the last traffic
drive on the right, not drive on the right, or not turn on the right, or something like that.
Don't turn left. Turning.
Oh, yes.
Don't turn
Yeah,
left. Okay, the next line. It says we have a choice of drive slowly, children in the street, drive slowly, wait for other cars, right lane ends ahead, stay to the left. So
it's a right lane and
yes,
stay to the left.
yes. The middle one means drive slowly. You have to wait for other cars to go first. That yield sign says you do not have the right of way. There's another lane of cars coming in. Usually those kinds of signs are like on ramps onto freeways and stuff like that. You have to be careful not to pull in front of other cars. So what does the last one mean?
It's drive slow with children across the street.
Okay. In the last line of signs, one of them means be ready to stop for trains. One says don't drive here, and drive slowly. People often cross the street here. So what is that with RR on it?
The first one I think is be ready, stop to train.
For the trains, right. RR means railroad. Railroad, and then there's a cross in the middle. So it's a railroad crossing. Do you see the cross in the middle? Okay, the R and the R means railroad crossing. The railroad crosses the road you're on. So it means be ready to stop for the train. Why do we have to stop for trains?
Why?
They can't stop very good.
Yeah.
Their stopping system does not work very good. People in automobiles must stop for the train. Also, once they get all of that weight, all of those cars pushing them, stopping all of those cars, all that weight pushing on them, it's very difficult. Okay, the next one.
It's
go ahead.
The next one is the middle one, right?
Yes.
It's drive slow. People often cross the street.
Yes. And the last one, don't drive here. Do not enter. Okay, let's I don't think we're going to do this on page 193. You don't have to use buses anymore. You have your own vehicle.
Mhm.
And we've already worked on numbers and things quite a lot. I don't think that that adds anything. Bus routes and costs, I don't think we need to go over that. You're not doing that. You're driving your own vehicle. Okay, let's go to page 196 about the grammar.
Okay.
Asking questions on how much, and where. So would you read inside those yellow boxes underneath the purple? Let me tell you what it says in Grammar Watch. Remember, for questions in the simple present, use does with he, she, and it. So, you want to read those questions for me?
Yes. How do you get to Adams College?
Take the number 4 bus.
Okay. How much does it cost?
$2.
Where do you get off?
2nd Street. So do you see where we used the word does? Why did we use the word does?
Does simple present?
Right, and we used what word? He, she, or it? Look in the sentence. Did we use the word he, she, or it?
He.
We used it. How much
Oh.
does it cost? So there's where the does is.
It.
So we used which word?
And
It. That really means how much does the trip cost? The trip is not a boy or a girl. It's an it. So
okay.
how much does the trip cost? It costs $2. So do you see that? Okay. Let's move on. I want to do things that help you build your vocabulary and build your sentence structure. Making sentences. Okay, I think you can do the exercise on page 198 without our talking about it. I think you can handle that. And let's see. Have you been using the library very much? Do you know how to use the library?
Yeah, sometimes for my daughters.
Yes. So you know what your library has available?
Yes.
Talking about weekend plans, we've done that before. Okay, grammar, page 202.
Okay.
Okay, in the purple box. I'll ask the questions this time. You give the answers. Like last time you asked the questions and I gave the answers. We'll change it about.
Okay.
So what are you doing next weekend?
I'm going to a concert.
How are you getting there?
I'm taking the bus.
Who are you going with?
My sister, she's meeting.
Uh-huh.
me there.
Okay. So you're not going in the same vehicle. You're not riding the same bus. I'm going to get there on the bus. She's going to meet me there. She must live in a different part of town because they're not going to ride together. They're going to meet up when they get there.
Okay.
All right. Some of those questions we've had before and other exercises, I recall them. Let's go on to the problem solving. Let's look on page 204.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to read about Min's problem. Min takes the bus to work every day. He often reads the newspaper on the bus. Today, he gets off of the bus at his usual stop. He gets to work, puts his coat away, but something is wrong. Where are his reading glasses? Are they still on the bus? He is worried. He can work without his glasses, but they are expensive. He doesn't want to lose them. So let's talk about it. What is Min's problem?
He don't have glasses.
Okay, he can't find his glasses.
Mm-hmm.
What can Min do? And here are some ideas. He can call the bus company's lost and found department. He can buy new glasses, but they're very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
He can ask the bus driver the next day. What else could he do?
For they say that he is still in the bus, so he can ask in maybe the bus driver.
No, he got to work.
Oh, okay.
He got to work without his glasses. He can work without his glasses, but they are expensive and he doesn't want to lose them because he doesn't want to have to replace them.
Uh-huh. So he can call the company and maybe he need to know the number of the bus.
Yes.
Because and what time is the route, because maybe can take maybe he knows what time, maybe the company can say, okay, the number, so these people driving in these hours, and can ask him, maybe somebody find it and bring for the driver.
Mm-hmm. He also could call home. He may not have left home with his glasses.
Sometimes happen.
He could call home and see if they can find the glasses at home. Did he even get out of the house with them? So he needs to check at home.
Of course.
He needs to check with the bus company to see if glasses get turned in.
Mm-hmm.
He can check with the bus driver the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he would have the same bus or same bus driver going home that evening.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's a couple of options there. If all else fails, he may end up having to buy new glasses.
Yeah.
He could retrace his steps. Sometimes, like if he stopped to get coffee or a soda or something on his way into work, he might need to go back and trace his steps to where he went to see if he dropped them out of a pocket or something on his way from the coffee shop or I lost my keys one time
Mhm.
at work and I had to retrace my steps to find what I had done with them. Sometimes when you have your hands too full.
Yeah. I missed my wallet 2 months ago.
Mhm.
So for the thing is, I'm every time I lock my car when I'm out, when a store or something. And here in Hendersonville, it's not like too many problems. The people take the
Right.
broke the windows or some things like that. So I remember that Saturday I go with my husband in Barbie harness store, and too many people come to the Nashville, the Gallatin, the other like the out people know living here in Hendersonville. So and the happen is I put my wallet in the middle between to the
Console.
seat.
In the console.
Yes, and it's not really close. You can see. And
Mhm.
and I go inside the store, and when I'm out, I don't notice. So Sunday, I'm not using. For Monday, when I try use my car, I not can find my wallet. So the only thing I can do really fast is I cancel call for the bank and for the one credit card for my husband and cancel everything. And I don't know what happened. So is disappear?
So you don't have it at all now? You all of your cards, you lost your driver's license, you lost your credit cards and everything?
No, no, my driver license because only have 3 cars in the wallet.
I see.
I have another a small wallet with my daughter's insurance card, my ID, my driver license, everything. So far I have a different place. This wallet is a present for my sister in Christmas.
I see.
So only have 3 cars because I just keep it. For I not put everything in. I'm glad I not put everything inside.
Yes, yes. Do you want to take on another chapter tonight, or do you want to wait and do that next week?
Except to you, Miss Caroline. I know you wait for me a long time today.
No, it's not that at all. It's about 7:40. We have about 20 minutes.
It's fine for me. So if you want, it's fine.
I'm trying to give you a lot of vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at Health Matters, chapter 11.
Okay.
And all we're going to probably have time for is just the vocabulary. In this picture, number 1 is the whole head, I believe. You see the brackets around the head? You see the picture?
Uh-huh.
Okay, number 1, they're talking about her head, the whole head.
Uh-huh.
Number 2 is on the front. What is on the front?
Face.
The face. Okay, number 3 is her.
Number 3 is the leg.
The leg. Number 4 is the
Feet. No, the ankle.
The ankle. And number 5 is the
Shoulder.
shoulder. 6 is the
Stomach.
stomach. Stomach. It has a K
Stomach.
sound with CH together. Stomach.
Stomach.
7.
7 is the eye.
The eye. 8 is the
Nose.
nose. 9 is the
Mouth.
Well, yeah. And 10 is
The
what
two
things
or
inside
T.
the mouth.
The two or T.
Let's see on the other side. 11 is the
Ear.
12 is the chest.
Chest.
13.
Elbow.
Elbow. Very good. 14 is the right here. Right in here.
The crease.
It's a wrist.
Wrist.
The W is silent.
Wrist.
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 I'll tell you a little secret about silent W's. Like when you write W-R-I-T-E, wrist, it means you can turn and twist. And when you write, you turn and twist your letters. You make your letters, you turn and twist them. And a wrist, you can turn it, you can twist it. A wrist turns a lot of different ways. So a silent W word means turning and twisting when you put a W, but it's silent.
Wrist. Wrist.
So it's wrist.
Wrist.
And 15 is a knee.
Knee. So the no make sense.
And that's a silent K.
Hey,
Silent
yes.
K. 16 is your
Neck.
neck. Very good. 17 is your
Hands.
and on the end is your fingers. 18 is your back. 19 is the whole arm. And 20 is a foot,
Feet.
but you have 2 feet.
Feet.
It's not foot. It's feet.
It's feet.
You have 1 tooth. You have many teeth. You have 1 foot. You have 2 feet. So your plural changes form. Okay, I don't think we're going to try to get into much of the lessons. Okay, what I want you to do for next time is to go back and do some of the lessons through chapter 10. Some of the ones we did not do together, unless it asks you to do it with a partner.
Okay.
Go back, fill in the places, read. I want you to do the reading and understanding of these exercises and work on it on your own. Are you going to have a problem with that? I don't know. The only way we'll know is for you to try it.
Okay.
I'm trying to cover as much material as we can. I know that next year it may be too difficult for you to drive all the way to Springfield for class. You have worked very hard this year. You've done a really good job. And I want to give you as much vocabulary as you can, as I can. Like the information about wrist, the silent W, learning to spell that word so that when you have to write it, you can write it. Knee, so that you can write that word. Know that it has a silent K in it. So next week, my first question will be, did you do all of the exercises in chapter 10? If
Mhm.
you didn't, did you have a problem with one? Do we need to go back and look at the exercise? Now, any
Okay.
of them that you and I did together, you don't have to do those because we already did them.
Mhm.
But if there is an exercise you were not able to do because you did not understand something, I
Mhm.
want you to tell me.
Mhm.
I don't want to rush so fast through it that you don't understand, but I want to cover as much material as you can handle.
Mhm.
In that lesson about the body parts, you'll need that because we're going to be talking about medical things.
Okay.
We're going to have some more vocabulary about things the doctor uses to check you out. And so I want you to the main thing, focus on chapter 10. And next week, we'll talk about medical things and filling out medical forms and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
Okie doke.
Mhm.
You have a good week. You have a real good week. And I hope your vehicle doesn't give you any more trouble this week.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so, Miss Caroline. I don't think it's that is it just like it's a liquid something for my husband fixing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I pray for you, Amalia. I pray for Marty too.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
And I hope that you all have a really good week this week. I know Marty's working. I feel confident that if he was not working, he'd be here with us.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Miss Caroline. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. You have a good night.
You too, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.